welcome to today's live stream. It's June 20th. I cannot believe we are like already in the summer. Today I have a lot of great stuff. We're gonna do a sew with me where we talk about Lori Holt's Scrappy Americana flag pattern. And that's gonna be super fun. We did a great job of writing the pattern for both people who like to use foundation paper and then people who just like to sew normally without all that extra fuss. After that tutorial, I'm gonna do the Liberty Box unboxing. And on that one, just so you know, we're very low. I made a couple more finishing kits last night. We do have a little bit of yardage left. We basically bought everything that Riley Blake had, so now that's available again. So if you're on the fence, I would get it this morning, and the Liberty Box will probably be sold out by, I would say, Sunday. So sometimes these sell out fast, some they don't. This one has gotten a lot of good response, so we're really excited about that. And at the end, we're gonna show you a lot of new stuff, and we're even gonna show you the quilt you can make with the Liberty Box. So if you haven't gotten your box or anything, you can just like close your eyes during that if you don't wanna see. So, but first, let's start off with what we're gonna be doing today. So we're gonna be working on the Scrappy Americana flag pattern. And I'm gonna set this aside for just a second. And I'm gonna talk about, this month is our 22nd anniversary, and we are having the layer cake sale. And so Kevin put some layer cakes up to 50% off, and so we pulled some that we have a lot of or that we thought you would like. So Back to School's on sale, Portofino, which is of course Fig Tree, Freedom Garden, which is Riley Blake, My Mind's Eye, and this one is a really nice Americana group. Rosemary Cottage, which I do think this one will sell out. This one has a lot of great colors. We are waiting for Nantucket Summer to arrive in July, so if you're waiting on that, that has not shipped yet. This is Curated in Color by Kathy Holden. This one is a personal favorite, Kitty Christmas. Of course, I didn't sew anything with it, but I love it. It's so cute. This is from about a year ago. And then Laguna Sunrise from Sherry and Chelsea. So I just wanted to show you, Kevin put some really great layer cakes on sale. There's no code needed. Now, the sale ends tonight at midnight. So if there's one of these layer cakes that you're interested in, maybe using for socialites or just collecting your stash, I just wanted to show you an assortment, but you can find a link to that on our homepage. No code needed. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Scrappy Americana flag. Okay, this pattern is available in paper and PDF. Of course, it's designed by Lori Holt, and we're doing a sew along right now. The sew along started in May and it ends in February 2026. We do have a lot of kits left over, so if you're wanting a kit, we still have those. Now, what I want to show you is what I've already done and then what we're going to do today. So for the 4 patch blocks, I made those. There are 6 red and red, and 6 white and white. And then you can only make that the traditional way. So that's that one. And then the pinwheel stripes, red and red, and white and white. And they look, you know, they kind of look different than you normally would look at your fabric and say. But if you look right here, can you zoom in, Jordan? That's good. So just so you can see, that's a solid. That's this block. This is a solid. This is this block. This is a solid, and then these are blocks I haven't made yet. So every other one is a block and every other one is a stripe. So like you can see, this one right here is, let's see. The one we're making today is here. I can see that. It's somewhere in here. I think it's this one right here. And then this one right here is right here. So basically, when you're done with this quilt, it's gonna look really pretty because of the fabric placement. And Americana, just so you guys know, that collection has sold like crazy. We are sold out of the half yards and fat quarter bundles. We're gonna get more any day. We get them and then cut them and then they're gone. But the good thing on the Scrappy Americana flag is that we still have that in stock. So I'm glad that we cut enough kits for that. So I have been keeping these in this little art bin box. We are sold out of it. It is $69.53 AB, but we ordered a ton, so hopefully they'll come in soon. Thank you to Tammy Todd for the super chat. And the pattern does come in the quilt kit. The stars are not hard. I feel like this is actually each block to me is very easy. What's gonna take time is the assembly. But I think if you pin, you definitely can do it. And when this quilt is done, I mean, we showed it on live stream before. It's so beautiful because it's just all the colors mixed together really nice. So today what we're gonna work on is the diagonal stripe blocks. And what I wanted to show you when you have this pattern in front of you, on the left side is if you wanna use foundation paper. That would mean either triangles on a roll, square and a square paper, we have flying geese paper. All of that is listed actually in the front, right here. But if you want to do the traditional way, that is on the right side. So I'm using foundation paper, and there is a foundation paper pad set. And so it has 3 triangles on a roll and then 4 pads. And in the book, it tells you which ones to use. So since I'm going to be using the triangles on a roll, I'm going to fold this over, and we're going to talk about, I'm not going to make all of them on camera, but I'm going to really focus on teaching you triangles on a roll and how to get the best results, or how I get the best results. And so these 2 fabrics are used for these blocks. So it's like the text print and then this little star flower. And then the other one is a polka dot and this. We're not gonna do these today, but I'm just gonna show you. So here what it does, it tells you that you're gonna be using the 2.5 inch finished half square triangle paper, and it tells you that right there. So we have this. And it tells you to cut a 2x6 section for each one. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna cut my fabric. So I find if you cut your paper first, you will have better results cutting your fabric later. Okay, so thank you to Valeria Bauer. You gave a super sticker, thank you so much. So it says 2x6, so that would be 2x6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you would do the same exact thing on the white, but we're not gonna do that today. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest and tell you, even though the book says it, this is not how I really sew it, because you can see how that curves, right? You're gonna get much better results if you then cut that in half. Now, you don't have to do it this way. I'm just showing you my way. And then I'm gonna put the 2 fabrics right sides together and then cut my pieces to this size. And we are hoping to do more patterns in the future using both of these methods because we got really good comments, so that we really appreciate that. We always wanna know when you like something and when you don't like something. Because as a company, we're very customer service focused and, well, customer focused. And so when we get good feedback or bad feedback, we always take that into account. So first I'm gonna put these right sides together, and then I'm just gonna kind of look and see what would work best. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna cut it across. It's nothing scientific. I'm gonna leave plenty of room where I'm not cutting it right to the edge, because to me that just drives me crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside because you're basically gonna do the same thing I'm gonna show you later with this. So here, before you do anything, you have to iron these together. So let's first do that without the paper. Okay, so right here, what you want is you want it to be completely flat, no creases. And you would be surprised how much a little small crease or pucker is going to create in your work. Now, of course, you don't have to be as OCD as me, but then what I do is I'm gonna put my paper on here. Now you can see I left a big margin. A lot of people don't use that big of a margin. I just do so that when I'm at the machine, I don't have to be so like moving it around. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put pins where the the dotted lines are. And just keep putting your questions in. I'm gonna get to them. Right now I'm just focused on, okay, one thing I already see that I'm doing wrong. Okay, to me, this fabric is very directional. You put that on backwards, your triangles are gonna look funky. So I'm gonna do that again. And I'm gonna take this paper and I'm gonna line it up on the very top of the one row of flowers, whatever row that is. And then I'm gonna pin. I think I was close, but I want it to be as close as possible. And the more you pin, the better. But what you want is you don't want it, you want it to be 100% flat. And you can make a ton of triangle papers with each package. On the website, it'll tell you how many. And some of them you can make up to 1,000. So it just depends on each roll and how many you can make. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go to the sewing machine, and on these dotted lines, I'm gonna stitch. You're gonna lower your stitch length to as low as possible. And then I'm gonna start outside the paper a little bit, and then I'm gonna go across. Now, a lot of people follow these arrows, like you can follow the arrows. I usually don't do that. What I usually do is I'll do an X first, because that gets it flat, and then I do these sides. That drives some people crazy on video when I do that, but I just like to do that. That's just what I do. And then you'll notice that on my sewing machine, it's completely flat. So if you have a flat surface like a tabletop that attaches to your machine, you're gonna get better results. So here, I'm using this foot right here so that I can see. It doesn't have a guide or anything. Short stitch length, also a size 90 needle, will make it easier for your paper to pull off. But it's not 100% necessary, it's just what I recommend. And this is what I mean about flat, because it's keeping it basically flat and, you know, nothing's moving. Now, like I said, most people follow the arrows. I do not. I'm just going to go back and do the left side of what I just did. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back and complete the X, and I'm gonna put my hand to make it completely flat before I stitch that line, the second line. And then I'm gonna go back and start again where I started. So I kind of do them the same direction each time instead of turning the fabric, because I know that if I go this way, none of my fabric is gonna bunch up over here on the side. Okay, so then now I'm gonna do the edge. And I'm gonna do that same thing. Instead of turning it, I'm just keeping everything the same direction. So now what I want to show you is when you touch it, it should be flat here, it should be flat here. Now if you had sewn this whole big long thing at once, you would have been dragging it all under that sewing machine, the bed of it. I can't think of what it's called, but like that little area. And so doing this is going to be more accurate. Now you can always do it however it works for you. You can follow the arrows. You can use any brand of triangles, triangle paper you want. This is just the brand that I use. Okay, so from here, if I didn't say it, it's really important for you to stitch exactly on the dotted line. Because if you stitch too far out here, you're gonna have shorter triangles. And if you stitch too far in, you're gonna have fatter triangles. And what I do from here is I cut the 4 outside sides first. And I'm trying to cut exactly on that line. And there's not, I just wanna say, like, when you're sewing, do whatever works for you in your sewing room. If you want to not use paper, don't use paper. Do whatever works for you, because no matter what YouTube channel you watch or what brick and mortar store you go to, what is most comfortable for you is going to be what gives you the best results. Let's see if this fits. It does. Okay. So sometimes I'm able to do this without, with just 1, 2. Sometimes I can do this with 4 cuts to get them apart, and sometimes it doesn't work. So I'm just gonna try. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna cut this long one. I'm gonna move the ruler, not the fabric. You want to get it lined up perfectly. Now you can cut across this side, and it doesn't have to be exact because that's your seam allowance. This mat right here is the 9.5-inch rotating cutting mat by Kimberly's Cuts. We have 3 sizes in that mat. They're brand new and I love them. They do actually rotate, but I just move mine for whatever reason. I just do that instead. So it's the same directions in the pattern that I'm showing you. I just cut my paper into smaller segments to sew it together. Now I'm going to pull the paper apart. And I'm going to put them in this bucket. So to pull the paper, if you crease it, you're gonna get a better result. And if you used a size 90 and a small enough needle, it's gonna pull right off. If it doesn't pull right off, I would either lower your stitch length or change your needle. And one question that I do get frequently is, do you change your needle more often if you use triangle paper or foundation paper? And I mean, probably. You probably do. I just change it when mine starts threading. And I'm going to answer some questions. So Pamela asks, when you use triangle paper when making a quilt, does the needle become duller than if you haven't used it? So that's what I just answered. Yay, I answered it before you asked. But yeah, but I don't think it's major. I still think, like I go between paper, non-paper all the time. I don't just use one needle for each. Will cutting the paper and fabric dull your rotary cutter? I don't think so. It's kind of like, I don't really think using the paper is going to be a bigger investment in needles or rotary cutters. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, so I've got all the paper off. I'm going to iron them. And when I'm ironing, I'll answer questions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scatter these over the bed, and I'm going to put my iron just like that to get it flat and get those seams down. Doing that is going to be so important. When I first took classes, people told me to do that, and I was like, oh, they're crazy. Well, it does make a difference. And then I'm going to put the iron right on that crease, right, that edge right there, and push. Okay, so the first three, Thread and Tot said, I really like the triangles on a roll as well as the foundation papers. Seeing Kimberly sew the paper is helpful. I always follow the arrows and have trouble doing that without it being flat. Oh, that's good. Yeah, and some people swear by doing the arrows, so it's totally up to you. I'm up for the 6x6 inch blocks. I am not sure how many I'm gonna need. Probably 4. I'm just hoping that they finally fill our order because we've had them on order for like a month. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to cut the little dog ears off. That's what the name of these are. And I am using steam. So I'm using steam, and all of this fabric was starched before. And so because it's starched before, it's already pre-shrunk. So using steam is not going to shrink my blocks at all. Thank you for the comment, Janine. I'm loving, and then obviously I missed one. To cheat, I'm gonna do this because I missed that. I'm loving the Scrappy flag stitch along. It helps to have the stitch along to keep me moving forward. Yeah, I always think anytime you're doing a quilt, unless it's for a gift, spread it out over time so you don't get sick of it. Because I can't be the only one that, like, I get so excited for a project and then you start doing it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. So I find that I enjoy my projects more by switching them up. I did miss a triangle, but I'm gonna fix it. Yes, yeah, I did. If your half square triangle finishes at 2 5/8, you need to trim it down to 2 1/2. It needs to be 3 by 3. So it needs to be exactly 3 by 3, which it is. So if it's 2 5/8, it's not going to work because it's too small. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go across and press all of these open. The Liberty box is a one-time purchase. It's not a subscription. My fabric is starch. Okay, let me do these, and then I'll answer questions because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up if I do both at the same time. So I'm finger opening these like this, and then hoping I don't burn myself. And I'm gonna be honest, I do burn myself from time to time. I haven't recently, so hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. This Laura Star iron is very hot, and when I first got it, I was burning myself quite a bit. Okay, so another thing I wanted you to notice when I'm pressing, I'm not doing this with the iron. That is going to stretch your fabric. I'm trying to be very, very intentional with it. Like, just put it where it needs to be in iron. Now, anytime I press open, I always press the front side after, because if it puckers, that'll get it out. So, go over all of them with the press. Can you grab me a design board? Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out, Oh, that top one's good. So another thing, thank you. Another thing I wanted to point out is when you're looking at your half square triangles or any type of foundation paper, you do not want to see stitches right here. If you see your stitches, that means when you get your quilt quilted, you're gonna see your stitches. So you can't see my stitches, so that means I've got a good thread color and a good stitch length. I'm using just the Aurifil Color 2000. That's what I use all the time. That's pretty much what I use. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay this out like the pattern. And this probably is the hardest part. And I'm gonna show you how to make one of these, because if I made all 12, we would be here for a couple hours. So I'm just looking and I'm making sure that everything is the same direction. From there, I'm gonna put these right sides together. Pin, pin, do the same thing on the bottom. And also, you don't want to have a hump here. If you feel a bump here, you haven't gotten it completely flat. Okay, now what you will do is I'm going to leave this on my design board, and I'm going to change to a 1/4 inch foot with a guide. I'm going to stitch across, keep it connected, stitch a couple stitches, and then stitch this, and then it's going to be chain pieced together. We're going to iron it, and then we'll talk about pinning the next step. So you can see this foot, it comes with a little guide on it, and that fabric goes right against it to give you accurate results. I'm going to move my stitch length up 1 stitch. So instead of like 1.5, I'm probably at almost 1.75. So this is what you call chain piecing. It's hooked together. Set your seam. Mary Catherine asks if this iron is lightweight. It is not. It is very heavy. It's extremely heavy. So definitely not light in any way. Press against on the front. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is cut this apart, because if I wasn't pressing open, I wouldn't cut it apart, but you have to, because when you press the next step, it's going to get crunched. So we're going to pin here and here, and then we're going to do the polka pin right here, where we put our pin in this point and this point, and it's going to match. So first thing is, do your left and your right. Okay, now this is going to be harder to see because it's red and red fabric, but you put it in right where that point is. Look to make sure it's in the point. Go in the other point, and then you want to make it straight up and down and just put that pin, make sure it's flat, pull the pin out and just pin. And hopefully when you go over that seam, it's going to be a 1/4 inch and it's going to hit the dot. We'll see. And it matches. Kiki says, shout out to the awesome production team who makes these live streams go smoothly so we can enjoy Kimberly. Y'all rock. Yes, thank you today to Alicia, Denise, and Jordan. Okay, I am gonna trim the outside. These little threads drive me crazy. Because, and I'm gonna show you why. And I'm just making sure when I trim each end, I'm lining up the top and the side. With triangle paper, you really should not be cutting much off. My goal is just to get those extra threads off. And it should be 5.5 inches. I think the right square is the wrong direction. Isn't it a pinwheel? No. So this one, I'm going to show you. That's a great question. This one is not a pinwheel. This one's like this, but let me see. This was a pinwheel right here. So the previous months were a pinwheel. So that's where the fabric rotates. This one doesn't. I do not change my needle size after I paper piece. So I basically always sew with a 90 needle, always. I always use Endurance Blades by Olfa. That's just what I use, and I don't change it every time or anything. I just consider it just part of the process. And why if you chop all these uglies off, when you put it in here, it's so pretty. I am using, let's see, Little House pins. These are the Fat Quarter Shop pins that we made by Little House, but we did pink and blue heads because they're cute. But there's several different colors that come in that. Okay, so now I'm going to answer questions and we'll clean all this up. Okay, I have a vintage machine. How would I figure out that stitch length? I would maybe just practice and just move the knob. And I will say I stitch with a very tiny stitch length. It is not normal. It is almost impossible to undo my stitches, but that's what I do. So you don't have to do that. Does Kimberly have a video on how to use Lori Holt's star quilt paper? I don't. I did a video on how to use her butterfly paper, but we can see if we want to do that later. If you need a finished half square triangle of 2 5/8 with triangle paper, you use 3" and cut it down. Okay, hold on. Finished. Okay, hold on. If you need a 3" finished, like completely finished, you would start with a 3½ or 3 3/4" square and trim it down. If you need 2½ unfinished, you would do 3 3/8. We do have a triangle paper cheat sheet on Fat Quarter Shop's website, and I think if you just search triangle paper, half square triangle cheat sheet, something like that, Denise can put in the comments the name because I can't think of it, and it tells you all those numbers so that you can have that as a printout in your sewing room and you don't have to do the math I just did. Have the sew sampler boxes shipped. Alicia will find out, I have no idea. On the Rooftop is not ready to ship. It did ship. So sampler did ship. Up on the Rooftop, it uses 2 collections. It has a brown from a collection that hasn't shipped yet. That's why it hasn't shipped. But that deer really needed to be brown for it to look good. So we're just waiting on 1 SKU to be able to do that. The foundation paper is awesome. My results are precise, and in my opinion, it saves a lot of time. Yeah, and I think it's totally a personal preference. You know, if you're not using that at home, don't worry. Lori Holt, she does not use triangle paper. She does not use any type of paper at all because to her, that is wasteful and it's not needed, and that's not how she learned. So her quilts are absolutely beautiful. Do whatever works for you. And you know, I think that's how I was taught, so that's probably why I do it. Okay, this is a good question. Pamela says, the Kimberly rotating mat looks thick. I'm asking because the more the mat sits off the table, the easier it is to rotate it. So, it is exactly a 1/4 inch. So, that's how it rotates. Okay. So if you have more questions on any of the stuff that I just did, let me know. I will answer them. I'm going to move into the Liberty box. First, I'm going to show you the box. Then I'm going to show you the quilt. And so if you haven't gotten your Liberty box and you don't want to see this, just close your eyes. Don't turn the video off. Well, I guess you would have to because you would hear my voice. I'm going to tell you everything in it, why we put it in there, all our inspiration behind it, and then we're going to show you the quilt, and then I'm going to show you lots of new stuff. But if you have questions, just keep putting them in there. So here's our beautiful box designed by Brittany. It's so cute. It has bows. And there's always a topper in any of our box. Now, this is a seasonal box. So the seasonal boxes are not part of the Sew Sampler subscription. They're separate. So you can order them as you would like. We have a few left. On the back is a coupon. And then there's always one of these folios. I don't know exactly what it's called. So in your box, you get a Gleaming Stars and Stripes Fat Quarter Bundle by Lori Whitlock for Relly Blake Fabrics. So I'm going to show you the fabrics. There are 12 pieces in this, and I'll show you what you'll use them for. If you want to use them for the project in the box. Now, of course, you don't have to use them for the project in the box. But I think it's, oh, Jordan's not watching me. Sorry, I had them off screen. I'm very sorry. So there's flags, hearts, Uncle Sam hats, stars, plaids, really cute. This is the cutest thing ever. This is the Celebration Mini Cooler Bag. And so this is basically a lunchbox. And Brittany designed it, and it's only available in the Liberty box. And so what's great about it is it's pretty big. So it will fit, you know, maybe 2 lunches. But what I like about it is it collapses down super small. And it matches the fabric. So it's a little lunchbox, and you could put like an ice pack in it. to keep your lunch cool if you wanted to, but it's super cute. You could also put your fabric in it. And that's, so once the box is gone, we're not gonna be making more of these. Now this is my favorite thing in the box. This is our Stars and Stripes mini cutting mat. And so basically this represents this, you know, the blue portion of the flag, and this represents the stripes and a flag. And I love this size. I use this size quite a bit. We've made these in different colors over the years, but I think this one's really cute. I like the design, and there are markings every 1/8 of an inch, and it's marked from 5 inches to 7 inches. And I love these mats that we have made because they are not cheap at all. They are very good quality and they last. And then we put one of Lori Holt's Happy Charms in the box. And this goes with her Americana collection that we just sewed with just now. And so basically it's a little charm. So you could put that on this if you wanted to. You could put it on any of your whip bags. You could put it on your keychain. There's so many things you can do with these charms, and they're so cute. And then this is the project that I'm going to show you, the quilt. So all of the projects that come in our box are exclusive to the box. If we ever release them later, it's going to be like 5 years later or something, and only if we get so many requests that we have customers so upset that it's not been released that we'll release it in a couple of years. So in this you need 12 fat quarters, you need 1 7/8 yard of C120 Riley white, which is basically a white. You probably have a white in your stash. 1.5 yards for the outer border, 3/4 yard for the binding, and 3 7/8 yards for the backing. And this is what we used. Now, of course, if you don't like this pattern, you can use any 12-piece fat quarter pattern that you like. And in fact, we're coming out with a book using 12 fat quarters that's coming out really soon. So that is the Liberty box for 2025. There is a finishing kit for the Liberty box. I made a couple last night. They might be sold out by now, but I bought, all of those fabrics are online. They're gonna probably sell out today. We bought everything Riley Blake had. And after that this round sells out, we won't be able to have more. Peyton. Okay.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, look at it. Okay, get your hand all the way over there so it's flat. There you go. Okay, so this is Peyton, my son, right there. He's hiding. So this is the quilt all sewn up. Really cute. I love the star. This is basically like an Ohio star with half square triangles on the edge. And then these are basically made with half square triangles put on. This is basically a half square triangle with another square sewed on top of it. And then I'll show it to you on the table. And then you're just gonna help her with whatever she needs. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the quilt. I have it upside down, but that's okay. So basically, you know, this is your piecing. These are all half square triangles right here. And then these are half square triangles with another square on top, cut on the diagonal. And the border is super cute. I like borders that don't take away from the inside. I would say whatever white you choose to use with this, the brighter the white is, the more your blocks are gonna stand out, because you can see this is not exactly white. This one is not, but you can see how the blocks really stand out. So my advice would be to use whatever white you have that's the brightest. For the backing, this is what we put on the backing. It has the flag, trucks, cupcakes, pinwheels. Are there 4 specialty boxes? Valentine's, Christmas, Halloween, and Liberty? Yes. Will I get the triangles on a roll washi tape back in? We did not have the best results with that product, so no, we might revamp it, but we were not happy with the product we came out with, and or the quality of it. I would say this is an intermediate project. Okay, the chair. Okay, I'm gonna sit on it. Sorry. Okay, now I'm gonna show you what's new. And I've got some stuff today to show you that is so cute that I'm so excited about. I want Jordan to zoom in though. They are so cute. Me and Denise were about to flip a lid the other day. Okay, so let me tell you a little secret about Miss Kimberly Jolly. When we buy stuff, we don't see the actual product. We see a piece of paper with a picture. So we buy based on what that picture looks like. And these came in and they are so stinking cute. So I placed an order. That's what I do. I place an order at Pack Pro Shop to see the actual product. And the quality of it is really nice. So I bought more because I do think we're going to sell out of these. We will have more next week. So these match, what's the name of the collection, Jordan? That's coming next, Nantucket Summer. Yeah, Nantucket Summer. So that is coming next month. But these two notions match it. They were made by Moda for Camille. Then she has a stack of paper. This SKU is 1001-94. This is the Nantucket Summer Darling Quilt Glam Bag. And this is the Nantucket Summer Blessed Floral Cluster Glam Bag. So if you just search Nantucket Summer Glam Bag, they should show up. And if you search Nantucket Summer Paper, these should show up. And so this is like, I'm not sure if these are sticky notes or not. I'm gonna open them and see. And this is just a daily notepad. This is also one where you could put it on your fridge, like for a shopping list, but they're so cute. Okay, I'm gonna open this because I know that you guys are, and I'm keeping all of these, so it's fine that I open them. Okay. Now we're gonna use our non-cutting scissors, our non-fabric scissors. The bags are vinyl. Can you buy the star pattern separately? The Liberty Box pattern only comes in the Liberty Box. In the Liberty Box finishing kit, it has the 3 fabrics, the background, border, and binding. So these are put together where there's, they're glued here, and then you can flip through. So I'm gonna use these on my desk daily. They're so cute. But I just wanted to let you know, these are all in stock. They came in a little bit early. I don't think I ordered enough. I'm just gonna be honest. Based on the photos, I just didn't order enough. So I've ordered more, and if we sell out, we'll have more next week. I think I might have went in and bought all Moda had. Alicia's gonna watch the quantities on these for me. Okay, now I also wanted to show you, Lori Holt had a paper pad years ago. Gosh, probably 5 years ago, and it was called Today is the Day, or it was called something else, but she wanted to do a new one with newer colors, and so it's the same exact paper. These are printed in America, so they are a little bit more expensive than some of the products you see that might be made in China, but it's nice quality paper and super cute. The front's cute, and then this QR code, you can always click on it and it'll tell you what Lori's up to, like her newest fabric, her newest videos, all of that. So we have stationery. I love stationery. Okay, keep asking questions. I'm gonna focus now on the what's new so I don't get too distracted. At the end, I promise I will answer all of the questions. So we're gonna be showing you new products now, and they're in kind of in order by manufacturer. And this is the Love You Mean It quilt kit by Rashida Coleman Hill. This one is pre-packaged by Moda. So this is your instruction pattern, and here are your fabrics. This is a very easy quilt. very beginner, and it has all the fabric for the quilt top and the binding. We also have this collection in stock. I'm trying to think of the name of the collection. Do you remember the name of the collection? Salutations?
I think so.
Let me see. Salutations! I got it right! Okay, so that is one kit. The second kit we got is from Riley Blake, and these are boxed kits. If you see a boxed kit like this, they're usually packaged by the manufacturer. This is Minky Kim's new collection. It's so cute. I want to show you because to me, this one, when I saw it, I think you get a lot of bang for your buck because this is a panel and these are just 9 patches. Some are the big pieces on the outside. Some are the backgrounds on the outside. So it just gives you that alternate look. You're supposed to help her. So there's really not that much to it. It's just the Sunset Ridge jelly roll. I'm going to show you the panel so you can see the detail on it because it is really cute. So this is your binding. This is your background. The jelly roll makes all of the 9 patches I just showed you. And this panel is so stinking cute. And this box is really cute too. Okay, so I'm going to show you the panel, and it tells you in the pattern how to cut the panel. And usually the patterns that are in these pre-packaged Riley Blake kits, those patterns are not available separately. They might release them in a couple of years, but they're really exclusive to the box. And it's called ISO Panel Quilt. Do we sell it separately? I don't think we do. I don't think we sell it separately. Okay, we're gonna zoom out a tiny. Oh no, we're not. Just a little bit. So see, this detail's really cute. It looks like it's stitching. So if you're not a quilter and you get this as a gift, you might think somebody stitched all this or appliqued all this. And you could go in and I guess stitch on top of it if you thought that would be cute. I think it would be cute, but I obviously don't have time to do that, but it's so cute. So this is the ISO Panel Quilt Kit. And so cute. Sometimes I just end up buying stuff for this box. I'm ridiculous. Okay, and this is the little slide sheet that goes on it. It's just really cute. And one thing you could do with these, and this is gonna sound probably crazy to you, but this is cardstock. And this is actually expensive cardstock. You could take this, cut this out and frame it, use it on a wall as a wall art. You could basically cut this out, make a postcard of it. Like you can actually use this, you could just put it in vinyl and just put it on the wall or something. You could actually use some of this to decorate. What? The panel is sold separately. We're gonna watch inventory on that. The pattern is not sold separately. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you new collections. There are a lot. This is Pumpkin Spice Gatherings by Primitive Gatherings from Moda Fabrics. I'm going to show you each piece. This is a Moda collection, so there are fat quarter bundles, layer cakes, charm packs, jelly rolls, yardage, half yard bundles, and fat quarter bundles. And I do see your questions. I'm going to answer one that's not quilting. I'm going to answer it at the end so people don't get mad at me. And I really love Primitive Gatherings, and I encourage you to watch her YouTube channel. Her shop is Primitive Gatherings. She does really cool stuff with her fabric. We always support her by carrying her patterns and her fabrics, but her shop does do a lot of kitting that other stores don't do. And you might find something interesting there. And I believe this is maybe her 3rd line of fall collections. I could be a little bit off on that, but Love her stuff. And I would say the colors are showing very true. This is black. This one's a little bit mottled. These are brown. And these are just a really nice, they kind of remind me of Joe Morton fabrics from years ago. Let me see those notepads. The tall, the 3-piece one. They're not sticky on the back, right?
No.
You can have him do that. Come over here and help. Okay, so someone wanted to know if these are sticky on the back, and they're not. They're just, you just pull them off. Okay. So this collection is called Muse. It's by 3 Sisters and Moda Fabrics. Really, really, really beautiful creams. And this time they're a little bit whiter than the last collection. Sometimes when the collections get creamy, they end up not being my favorite, but this one's really nice. Okay, this is gonna drive me crazy. So this is just really pretty. So you can see how, and it's really soft. I'm gonna have to refold that one later. So this one is pinks, grays, aquas, and then it's got some cute pinks and dark pinks. And again, it's called Muse. So that's Muse by 3 Sisters. So this one, Peyton, just stack it in order that it stays in order. Yeah, just stack it like somewhat in order. Yes, like that, one by one. Okay, this is Emmett and Ivory by Sweetwater, and this is a Christmas collection. I made a couple of scrappy blocks with this last year when I had the sample yardage. And she had it's a mom and 2 daughters. They had a collection similar to this probably 4 years ago. Of course, I don't remember the name of it. But this is so cute. All of the prints like this always do really well. She always, they're just very cute. I think they make great backings. Or table runners if you just wanted to do something without all the piecing. So I'm gonna lay this out. So I'm not sure, do we have yardage on this yet?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I think we have the yardage already. We will have the yardage if we don't. And so these are all very small scale, tiny scale. That's what she's kind of known for, or they're kind of known for. And I do have a lot of their fabric from the first collection, and so I've kind of thought about mixing and matching. And I would say this is creamier than white, just so you kind of have an idea. It's that same print. So Emmett and Ivy. I'm not sure who Emmett and Ivy are, but I guarantee this is probably named after somebody. Maybe it's the grandkids. You will find that there's usually a meaning behind every fabric collection name. And back in the day, when Emma was 1, she had a collection named after her from Ann Sutton, but she's now 18 and no longer a baby. Would Muse be a sister collection to Sanctuary? I would say absolutely yes. Hi, Christopher. Okay, so that Jolly Elite person commenting, is that Christopher Payton?
Yeah.
He's downstairs. You can come up here. Yeah, he didn't want to come up here today. So we're going, after this, we're going to San Antonio for a basketball tournament. Huh? What?
So exciting.
Oh, he said so exciting. Okay, so this is Frivolity by Sweetfire Road. Okay, Jordan, did I say that right? Frivolity? Okay, he thinks it's right. I'm not sure. Yeah. And I'm going to show you this. I always like to show you like a main piece just so you can see it. And I think seeing it on the table, you can see the scale and see like, do you think it would work for a border? Or, you know, when you chop it up, how's it gonna look? Because when I'm buying fabric, I'm always thinking about where is it gonna go in the quilt? If it's gonna be chopped up into blocks, is it gonna look good chopped up? Or is it gonna look better as a border or a background? And this is a creamy background. There's teacups. Oh, Michelle Cobb, she says Emmett and Ivy are snow people. What are snow people? Okay, well, I'm shocked because Jordan usually knows all of those little things. Do you know what that is, Peyton? Emmett and Ivy? No, nobody in the room knows, so I'm glad Michelle knows. How many yards are in a Moto 108 bolt? Usually 12. 12. So some manufacturers do 12-yard bolts, some do 16, and some do 18. But their Motos are usually 12. And fun fact, when we get a bolt, like, you know, we might order 15 yards. We might get a bolt that's 14. We might get a bolt that's 13 and a half. We might get a bolt that's 16. We might get a bolt that's 15 and 1/8. It's all just an estimate. Frivolity, Sweetfire Road. Okay, this bundle this morning, when I was doing my reorders, I noticed this is almost sold out. We only have 2 left. This is the Strawberry Collection by Kimberly Kite for Ruby Star Society. This, even though it looks like a half-yard bundle, is a fat quarter bundle, and we have 2 left. We do have all the yardage in stock, though. And it's just strawberries. And Kimberly Kite actually teaches at the school Peyton used to go to. Do you remember her?
What's her name?
Kimberly Kite.
Which school?
Your middle school. No. I mean, I know you didn't have her as a teacher, but I would see her in the pickup line. Someone says it's humid in San Antonio, so be prepared. Well, what I want to know, we're staying on the Riverwalk, Bex from Texas, is Peyton is going to get to pick where we go to lunch today. And I need a really good Mexican food place on the Riverwalk that is maybe authentic, because that's what I'm wanting to do today. And I bribed Peyton to come by saying that we're going to go to Buc-ee's. And then Will is in Japan, if you guys want to know where Will is. He is in Japan. Okay, now these next collections are confetti cotton bundles. Now, confetti cotton has been around for years and years and years. And Riley Blake came out with new colors. I don't remember exactly how many. And then we have all of that in store by the yard. Any confetti cotton that is in stock at Riley Blake, we have in stock. So they revamped their fat quarter bundles of confetti cotton. So this is the Lori Holt Dapper confetti cotton bundle. And then this is the Lori Holt Charming confetti cotton bundle. So there are some confetti cotton colors that have Lori's name on them, and they are listed that way on our website. So this is Charming, and this is Dapper. This is the Riley Rainbow Confetti Cottons Fat Quarter Bundle. So these are more just your rainbows with some darker ones at the bottom. This is the Warm Confetti Cottons Fat Quarter Bundle. Now, in addition to this, they did put together some new pre-cuts that are 5-inch squares and layer cakes that are just one color throughout. So this is warm. This is sassy. So this one is very modern. This is stormy. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 creams, 5 grays, and 3 blacks. This is grounded confetti cottons. So it's all browns and creams. So these, just so you guys know, we will always have the confetti cotton bolts in stock. The pre-cuts we keep in stock as long as Riley Blake keeps them in stock. So if they keep them in stock for 5 years, we'll have them for 5 years. If they discontinue them, we won't have them. So I'm not sure how long they're planning to have these in stock. I'm assuming they're going to keep them in stock. This is a really cute collection called Cozy Baby, or Cozy BB, B-E-B-E, by Simple Simon. And it's cute. It has bears and bear faces and flowers. I just think it's really cute, and I think it could be used for a baby girl. Oh, sorry, Jordan. Baby girl or baby boy. Really cute. We have yardage, fat quarter bundles, roly-polies, 10-inch squares, and charm packs. I think I made a block with the scraps of this. So really cute. You know, if you were doing a boy, you could just do this, you know. This is Santa's Tree Farm by Lisa Audit for Riley Blake Designs. And her fabrics, her last fabric collection was called Love Always, and it sold like crazy, or Love, something like that, Love Always or Love Forever. It sold crazy. Okay, Peyton, write this down. We ate at Rita's on the river walk, good Mexican food. Okay, we'll write that down. Thank you to Linnea Reese for the super chat. Yeah, any kind of food recommendations for San Antonio. We're gonna stay on the river walk. His games are pretty far away from the river walk, but we stay wherever the team stays. So I'm not sure. I don't even know. We're staying at some Hyatt, I think. Now this collection, I know I've made blocks with this. This is Bluegrass Charm by Melissa Mortensen for Riley Blake Designs, and it has a horse theme. I already did that one, Jordan. So, floral. You see the horses. If I have an older Riley Blake, can I call in and ask what confetti cotton goes with it best? Yes, and what we would do, our customer service agents are amazing. They will look back and we can see if we can match it. Now, we might not guess correctly, but we can try to get as close as possible. Sometimes the storyboards have the colors on the bottom that match, so you can always go to Riley Blake and look at older storyboards and look at the very bottom, and they'll give you some indication. Bluegrass Charm, Melissa Mortensen, kind of Kentucky Derby. This is the Emma collection by Jane Austen's House for Riley Blake Designs. And we did get a lot of new Liberty fabric. I think 3 or 4 I'm going to show you next. But this is Jane Austen's. Now, there is a kit that we are going to have with this. It is not in stock yet because we are waiting for the final pattern from Riley Blake to cut it. So as soon as that is released, we will have that cut in online. And it, you know, won't take long. And the pattern, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but the pattern is designed by Lori Holt. The Jane Austen fabric usually sells out pretty fast, but we do try to buy a lot of it because we know it's going to sell out. This is Gingerbread Kisses by Doodlebug Design for Riley Blake Designs. It is, just to look at it overall, it's got, you know, reds, pinks, aquas, really cute, and it's got a really great brown gingerbread print in it. This is a cute confetti print. This is really cute. So some of the scales, like that's pretty small scale. I'd say this is medium, and then this is, for me, it's kind of large. So it's got a mix of scales. When will Emmett and Ivy yardage be available? If it's not online, it should be really soon. Moda sends their pre-cuts before their yardage. So if we don't have the half yard bundle to show you, that's why it's just not here yet. But should be soon. And this is the one that I was saying I thought was really cute. I thought it'd make a cute like gift bag or pillowcase. Okay, the next two are two of the Liberty collections we got this week. These are actually printed by Liberty Fabrics, and Riley Blake distributes them. They are not the Tana lawn though, they're 100% cotton. This one is called Denim Florals. And I will tell you, we did not sell Liberty for years and years, and we started getting requests for it. And so we started carrying it, and it's done well. So thank you for requesting it. We do listen to requests. Now, every request we get, we can't answer, but if we get the same request over and over, and we know we have enough interest, we'll try a designer. That's really pretty. That stripe. So kind of smaller prints, bigger prints, it's called Denim Florals. This one's more, this is more of like what you would think of when you think of Liberty, Botanist Walk. I will tell you on my bucket list is I would love to go to the Liberty of London store in London, but I'm not a big traveler, so doubt that's gonna happen. So very classic Liberty colors and scale. And so Liberty, we've met with them several times, and they just have a huge library of fabrics that they've done, and everything comes from their library. Now, last week, our guest was Shelly Cavana from Bentertex Fabrics, and we just got her Among the Flowers 2 collection in stock. So we have half yard, fat quarter bundles, and yardage of the entire collection, and there are some 108s. So if you wanted to make her book that we showed last week in a fabric from her, this would be a great one to start with. And her books, we got more of them back in stock, and we did end up getting in stock her first book also. It's called Simplified Stars, I believe. So if the book sold out before you could get it, we have more. Spooky Cute Halloween by Mary Englebright for Free Spirit Fabrics. So years ago, Mary Englebright, when we first started, had fabric, and then she went away and she's back, and so that's very exciting. I mean, I think we all know who Mary Englebright is. And we're getting towards the end, so if you have a question, I would put it in now. And at the end, I do go through any question that I see that I know the answer to, if I know the answer. Spooky Cute Halloween, Mary Englebright, Free Spirit Fabrics. Spellbound by Deborah Edwards, Northcott Fabrics. She does one of these every year. A very similar, it's all very modeled. It's got that kind of, it's a modeling look where it's not like black, orange. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very, the years and years, they go together. This, I think, might be the first year she's added these pumpkins in. I could be wrong, but. Okay, so that's the fat quarter bundle. This is the panel, and the panel comes in the bundle and is also available separately. It's a 23-inch panel. So lots of birds and pumpkins. This is Sunny Safari by Northcott Fabrics. This collection does have a panel that goes with it, but it's not in the bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think. I try to remember, guys. It's this seems to be the color of nurseries that's trending right now. And I'm really happy because for a couple years there weren't any great baby fabrics, and we got so many questions. When are you going to have better baby fabrics? So I'm really excited to see really great fabrics that actually match the trends right now. This is Wading Waters Batiks by Hoffman Fabrics. And this is probably, if you're in the Hoffman Fat Quarter Club, this is something that will come in stock and in your bundle. And what's great about Hoffman Fabrics is what they do is they put together the lines. So it's very easy to order. Some batiks, you know, are very hard to order because they're not organized well. Also from Hoffman, there are 2 new Jingle Pops. So this is generation 12, meaning the 12th year they've done this. There is a silver Jingle Pops generation 12 and a gold Jingle Pops generation 12. Now, as far as yardage, what Kevin and I do every year is we pick and choose the yardage. They end up coming out with almost 100 SKUs a year, which is impossible for us to sell 100 SKUs of Christmas, with 50 being silver and 50 being Christmas. So some of the yardage we will have, some of that we will not, but we do have the Jingle Pops. This is Clothworks Fabrics. It's Santa Paws by Heather Lee Chan. Oh, that's cute. It says ho, ho, ho. And then that is so cute. They're little dog and cat. Oh, no, they're just dogs. Are those just dogs? They're just dogs. There's no pug, though. Cute. Oh, so that's why it's called Santa Paws. P-A-W-S. This is Figo Fabrics, which we did get requests to start carrying. This is called Blossom Breeze Recycled Cotton. I don't know really what the recycled cotton means or more about that, but I'm sure you can find that information on Figo Fabrics. Figo Fabrics is a division of Northcott Fabrics, and Banyan Batiks is also a division of Northcott Fabrics. Blossom Breeze Recycled Cotton. Okay, now I'm going to go through all the questions I see, and then we're going to do a giveaway of 4 Liberty boxes. Is Urban Chicks coming out with anything this year? I don't think I've seen a collection from them, but that does not mean I'm not wrong. But as far as I know, no. Will you be able to order more bundles of the Ruby Star Strawberry? No. I can look, we'll write this down, we'll look and see if we can allocate more, meaning cut our own from our yardage we have in stock. I don't know, but I can look at that before I leave for San Antonio. Does Moda only offer panels to certain shops? I watched a live where a shop was selling panels of Willow's Farm and A Christmas Carol as a cheater panel, and I can't find it on your site. No, and if we buy the collection, we usually buy the panel. The panels that we do not buy are more of the book panels. But you can always call and just see. We might be sold out of it. Are there flannels for baby blankets? There is a great flannel coming out. There are some great baby flannels we have in stock now by Riley Blake. They're just called Riley Blake Designer Flannels. And there is a group coming out soon from a new manufacturer. I'm trying to think of the name of the, what's the new manufacturer that Frank works for? Denise will know. Okay, Denise will slack you and tell you. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's a great one coming from them. What is a Jingle Pop? That is a set of 2.5-inch strips. The exact quantity I don't want to tell you, so I don't want to tell you wrong. It's listed on our site. Okay, Peyton, write this down. If you want authentic Mexican, Casa Rio is the one with colored umbrellas. We also like the restaurant Acenar. Are you writing this down?
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to come and look how you spell it. Casa Rio and Acenar. He's writing it down. We've decided that this weekend we're going to go have Mexican food all weekend. Are there any new flannel collections from Primitive Gatherings? Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. We always buy I can tell you we buy all of the Primitive Gatherings fabrics. So if it's available, we will buy it. When will the Halloween panel be back in stock? If it's not in stock, it's definitely ordered. We'll put it on our list, and hopefully they still have some in stock. Would I starch the denim fabric that Lori put in the Vintage Star kit? I would. I personally will not sew with anything that is not starched, and the denim is thin enough to where you can starch. How much yardage would I need to do the Shelley Kavana quilt along with her new book and new line of fabric? So if you go to her website, which is chorusquilts.com, you can, I think she has a sheet on there with all of that information on it. When is Agatha Rose expected to ship? I don't know off the top of my head. What is the difference between Tana lawn and cotton? Tana lawn is a much finer, thinner fabric. You can see through it. It's meant for clothing. It's very expensive, and it's also like 54-inch, 60-inch wide. So it's wider. It's very thin. It's like I'm trying to think of the word of it. It's 100% cotton is just normal. Okay, this question, have I seen the Brightly collection by Jessica Dayon? I think we have that on our coming soon page. We've gotten several requests, so I think that we have ordered that. We'll double check. When I first found your site, I was Googling to find a shop that would sell individual fat quarters. Would you ever consider doing that? We're not in a, we can't, it's just logistically impossible. Agatha Rose is July. Is your YouTube studio in your house? No, I am at work. And how do you get your starched yardage nice and flat? I starched in the shower, let it dry, then I ironed, and it seems wavy. Okay, I would starch it all the way through, like to where when you touch it, Peyton, please stop. You're driving me crazy with that noise.
Oh.
My kids are in here, they drive me crazy. Christopher, go over there. Y'all drive me crazy. Where when you look at it, the front should be completely soaked and the back should be completely soaked. I don't ever have wavy fabric with starch. What is a good Lori Holt bundle with a mix of colors? I looked yesterday. We have 37 different bundles by Lori Holt in stock. There's so many, it would be impossible to give you a suggestion. I would just go on our site, go to Fat Quarter Bundles, and then just click on Designer Lori Holt. Can you please stop? Okay, there's another recommendation, Peyton. Me Tierra in the Historic Market Square is a good one. I'm not sure what Historic Market Square is, but we'll see. Do you know what that is, Peyton? Okay, he's making a list of all the restaurants. Could you do a tutorial on the art gallery binding fabric? I purchased several yards. I know how to bind. I think that their YouTube channel actually has some. Does the steam shrink your blocks? No, because I starch ahead of time. If you do not starch ahead of time, the steam will shrink your blocks. Is the up on the rooftop quilt along, can we just print the pattern for it? Can you show us what fabric you're using? Yes, that information will come out when the kits sell out. Will you show, I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to do it last. Will you show what's in the Moda Collector 10 bins? Yes, we haven't received any yet, right, Alicia? They haven't come in yet. Will the Christmas box last year, the snowman quilt, is there videos on how you make it? No. Do I starch my backings? Yes. Will I kit the stitch along quilt in Nantucket summer and sell it on your website? Oh, the sale quilt. No, we're not kitting that one. I use spray starch. Do you have a can of it, Jordan? Oh, sorry. It's called Faultless Original Finish. And you just get it like at Walmart or Target. We buy it actually by the case online from some industrial site. What skill level is Liberty Box? Intermediate. Okay, 2 more questions because my voice is about to go out, but there's only 2 left. So loving all the videos. I know it's a lot of extra work, so thank you so much. Well, thank you. I don't feel, to me, it doesn't feel like work. Okay, and then let me see the Liberty boxes because we're going to give 4 of those away. Bernadette says, sorry, not a quilting question, but do you agree with the Karen Reed verdict? I actually did not follow that case. Now, I do know a lot about it, but I did not follow it. I can tell you that I have 2 really close friends that definitely agree with it, but I can also tell you that a lot of people I follow online don't agree with it. I have no opinion either way because I did not follow the case. So I can't really answer that, but yeah. So we're going to give away 4 Liberty boxes. You have until next Thursday to enter, which is June 20th. We're going to pick winners June 27th. What I want you to do is when the video's over, comment and tell me if you win this box, what is your favorite thing in this box? And if you have ideas for a future box of things you would like to see featured, you can put that there so that we can read and get ideas from you guys. I hope all of you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.